Welcome to another episode of Road Runners Unfiltered. It is your host, Darian Starling, and I am joined by my guy, Jarveon Dub Williams in the house. Mr. UTSA running back from what years? 2013 to like 2016 or something like that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, been wanting to do this for a long time. Appreciate you for coming down, driving down. I know that it's not as convenient since I run a UTSA podcast out of Austin. But how you doing, bro? What's going on?
Thanks for having me, for one. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
The drive is nothing, bro.
Yeah.
We locked in. So that's the drive is nothing, bro. But I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I'm blessed. I'm, feeling good.
I'm going to roll right into it. So
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So so I want to ask you about last year, 2024 UTSA season.
2023?
Or 2023, my fault. 2023 last year. There was just a lot going on. Like, first off, the team finished 8-4. You had all the Traylor drama with him interviewing with U of H, interviewing with UT. Last year, Frank Harris, and all this stuff. Just give me your thoughts on the season overall, and then we'll go into detail on some of these things, some of the like specific things that went on.
Man, I think it was a good season. New conference. Man, still won 8 games.
Yeah.
And that's in spite of all the,
Right.
the nonsense. And so, I think, easily could have, won 10 games, this year.
Yeah.
And, still had a great year. Again, being in a new conference. Man, I think the season was good, man. I think, we've been lucky to have, some back-to-back really, really good seasons. But 8-4 is not a slouch, man. That's a good season, man, considering – moving conferences, considering, your head coach being, poached for a job. So, man, I think they did good.
I feel like throughout the podcast there was a lot of, like, fans and there was a lot of folks that's around the program that was sort of getting disappointed that, like, we wasn't competing for the conference championship in our first year in the ASC.
Man, people we spoiled now, man.
Right.
Got spoiled.
Yeah.
That's how I categorize it, because, I mean, you was there with me.
Yeah.
8 wins? Come on.
He done took that.
Hey, we the party.
Yeah.
8 wins, man. It would have been a great year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Coaches probably would have got more jobs somewhere else. Like,
100%.
8 wins, man. Again, in another conference, taking another step up. I mean, like, I don't know what else you can ask. Like you said, I mean, we could have probably been in a championship game, but, like, it was a tougher competition, man. And, we are finding a consistent level of play that I like. And, we can win 7-8 games a year, man, coming from a guy who won, 4 games, 5 games, 6 games. Like, that's amazing to me.
Yeah, bro, like, what's funny about the whole situation is, like, the part that you just said about consistency and, like, what Coach Traylor has brought to the program. Bro has changed everything. And I feel like he last year put Lisa Campos and all those people in the front office on notice on, like, bro, y'all better start getting me what I want, because in my opinion anyway, he has brought a level of consistency that we haven't had. And then also that fear that everybody had whenever he did take those interviews. Everybody was like, oh my God. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's about to happen? Yep. And I feel like we can't take him for granted. So now you start to see all of the we got the practice covered pavilion or whatever they call it. We starting to get more money going into the NIL, stuff like that. Talk to me about, like, you being around the program, or just being around campus and just being in the city of San Antonio. What has Coach Traylor done for the program in your eyes?
Man, I can't even put it to words.
Yeah.
Like, when he got here, I was on that first staff. I was a GA on that first staff, working with the safeties and Coach Lep and all those guys. And so, I saw a lot of how it all started off.
Right.
Even that first year, right? We didn't win 8 games. We didn't win 9 games. I think we won 6 if I'm not mistaken. Still went to a bowl game. And granted, first year, all that good stuff. So to see where it went from the next 2 years after that, man, I mean, it was amazing.
What is it like to be part of his staff? I forgot about that, actually. What is it like? Like, what is he like as a coach? in the war room.
Yeah, I mean he's a good leader, man. He's a good leader of men.
Yeah.
And he doesn't micromanage you, but he has a standard, and you got to meet that standard. And so, if you're not, he'll let you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a great guy, man. He pushes you to do better.
Yeah.
He puts you around people that are doing better and people that you can learn from as well. And so that's what I kind of learned being there, man. There's some guys that I learned from while I was there that I still chop it up with today, that are still on staff. And so, man, he's great guy, man. Great program, good foundation, man. He has a great foundation and great principles, and that's the basis of the program right now.
Talk to me about his relationship with Frank Harris and how, like in your time there, like how it seemed like whenever he came, the team just like, I don't even know how to call it. Like the team just really rallied around him quick, like immediately. Like, and I know we're gonna definitely talk about your boy Wilson here in a minute.
Okay.
But I feel like there was a sort of like an immediate connection between him and the team, and also San Antonio. Like, did you feel that whenever you were there?
You talking about Traylor, right?
Talking about Traylor, yeah.
Yeah, man. Different culture, right? You get into a different culture, and like I said, man, he's coming from, he's not coming from a high school atmosphere, but he was in that atmosphere. So, like, he really knows how to resonate with players, man, and connect with players. Mm-hmm. And, like, he was like a true players coach. And like I said, he's so strong on, like, building relationships and how that can, spill over into, like, the field, and you're playing and you're, working out, and you just becoming a better man. They, like, guys trust him. Right. So guys trust him to come to our school to perform at a high level, to, get what they want out of their career is in football, or maybe their careers in a degree or whatever that case may be. But, like, guys trust him. And so, like you said, like, seeing that trust and seeing that, like, people gravitate towards him, like, he makes it presentable like that. He makes it a comfortable space for guys that trust him. And, like, that's, I would say, one thing I could say, like, he's really good at that.
Right. So I feel like, I guess I'll ask you the Wilson question now. Biggest differences between the two?
Man, you got to remember, man, I only played 1 year under Coach Wilson, under Frank. And the
one year?
I only played 1 year. So my only year that I played him was coming off of dealing with, like, Coker and them. So I thought it was great. Yeah. It was great to me. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying, just being able to have, like, for one, just being a black male in San Antonio. Yeah. Man, I probably had maybe one black coach growing up. Really? So, like, being able to have a black head coach and then a black position coach, like, man, that was, like, a new world for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, like, they've been places too. This ain't just, like, slaps. This is they, coming from LSU. Yeah. My running back coach ever since coming from South Carolina. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, like, let's work now. We time to work. And so I ain't gonna lie, man, like, that's the most I've grown as a player from the time my junior year to my senior year, as far as, like, the totality of my game. Right. I always run the ball. Yeah. That's easy. That's instinctual. Yeah. But, like, learning the game, getting on the board, being able to communicate and articulate yourself about the game of football, like they do at these upper rooms and these upper levels, that's kind of where I took my game to the next level with Coach Wilson and Coach Sands and all those guys. And so, man, I had a great experience with Coach Wilson. And, I think that, man, as far as, like, the coaching world goes, man, like, it's either your time or it's not. Right. And so, I feel like, he had a good little run. And to be honest, man, I mean, like, all the players that we were winning with anyway were the players that he brought in. So,
that's facts.
Like, it's no, like, you can always recruit. And so, I just think he needed more time, bro. I think he needed more time.
You think he needed so?
And granted, I wasn't around when, like, everything else was going on. So once I left, I was in Cincy for 2 years, and after Cincy, I was in Canada for a year. So, those 3 year span that I wasn't around. I'll tell you, I didn't get back until Traylor came in office. So when Traylor came in, like, that was me being done with the league, me being done playing ball. I was getting into coaching, and so that's kind of where I came back into UTSA.
Bro, I know that culture shock going from Coker to Frank Wilson had to be crazy. Like, because I like, not to, I am not talking crap about Coker's time, but, like, whenever we was there, bro, I just remember talking to
Man,
my
we were a
other,
starter program.
right, exactly.
We were a starter program.
And like we
with
just
starter
did,
coaches.
exactly. We
And-
did things like a starter program.
And that's not no shade to none
Yeah.
of those coaches, man,
Yeah.
because a lot of those
Yeah.
coaches, like, they work
Right.
their butts off.
Right.
But I mean, we're a starter program with starter coaches.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we, you know what I'm saying, we had an opportunity to transition, and, you know, we did. Like, even like some of the things we did and changed, like, it was just like simple things from
I just seen the way he had y'all moving as a team, like with the suits and like.
Bro, you can go
You
you
can
can
just
go all
see
the
the
way to
difference.
how he changed the front of the building, like added color, painted it
Yeah.
orange and blue,
Yeah.
like added flowers and like
Yeah.
different stuff that like made it more present. Like, bro, he
Right.
did he was just so meticulous in what he did that you know, a lot of people like picked up from that stuff, man.
Right.
And a lot of coaches that was on that staff, man, went on to go and coach
They did.
higher levels and higher positions. So from the OC, Coach Selfo wanted to be a head coach. I mean, like, you can go down the list, man. A lot of those guys stepped their game up coming from that staff and going into the next level. And so, I mean, again, like, I had a great experience.
Yeah.
I had a great experience.
I just felt like the end of his situation. I was happy whenever we got him because I was like, we getting a dope recruiter from LSU that's gonna want to run the football. That to me is all check like green check marks for me. But what start to get to me is what start to get out, I think, and what I feel like started to tarnish his reputation is like he would just all the rumors surrounding how he was treating people around the program.
Yeah.
And like I remember having some people calling me at the time and was like, yo, dude just like lit up everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and these people aren't a part of the team. These
Yeah.
are like staff and people, you know, like academic folks and stuff like that. I feel like some of that stuff started to tarnish his reputation. Was he doing stuff like that? Was that something that y'all seen often?
I think, bro.
Or did that happen
I think
over time?
that, like, bro, and it's so, like, it's so hard because I feel like, you know, you come from a place, bro, where, like, a lot of stuff is automatic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so
I
when you
see.
get to a place and it's like, man, y'all don't know that?
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah.
What y'all doing?
Right.
Why are we doing that? That don't make no sense. What are we doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would correlate it with, like, bro, it's like me going to play ball in the league, and then I'm back in high school coaching now, and it's like I expect some of these kids to know, you know what I'm saying, some of the things that I've learned along my way. Like,
Right.
that's unfair to them, you know what I'm saying, to
Yeah.
expect that from them because they don't know.
Right.
They don't know how to hit the A gap on
Yeah.
power,
Yeah.
how you should.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you come from a different culture, man. You come from a different culture where, one, money is not an issue.
Right. Yeah.
Resources are not an issue. So now you get into a place where it's so hard to get the simplest things done,
Yeah.
and you probably get frustrated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes a lot of sense.
You probably get frustrated because, like, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
You're so accustomed to a certain type of life. He wasn't just there for a year or two. Like, he's been there. You know what I'm saying? You've been around the big time ball. Big time ball.
Big time ball. Yeah.
So you come back and it's like, you know, some people might be in those crosshairs, but it's just like you can get frustrated, man, when it's hard to get stuff done, man. And shoot, even JT's been there. He's been frustrated because he can't get stuff done. Like you said, I'm gonna go take that interview because it's not gonna be hard to get stuff done over there.
Exactly.
It's not gonna be hard to get stuff done over there.
Yeah.
So that's just what it is.
Yeah, I feel like I have given Lisa Campos a lot of hard criticism because I feel like we wasn't seeing like the work that she's supposed to be putting in. And I've talked to, you know, a lot of folks around the program, from donors to people who are still working there and the staff and all of that. And I think a lot of folks kind of felt the same thing of like, bro, like she's not really she's not really like for the new NIL stuff. She's not really, you know, she's not going to just uplift football. She's going to make sure she take care of everybody else at the same time and that sort of thing. But I will say that like some of this stuff that's coming out, I don't know if it's all done by her, but it is definitely making her to look good with all these new facilities and stuff that they've committed to the program. But but like speaking on the NIL stuff, since that's bro, we barely missed it. We barely missed.
You
We
telling
barely
me?
just
You
by a
telling
couple.
me, Lo? You telling me, bro? You
Just by
telling
a
me?
couple years. Well, I mean,
telling me,
longer
bro.
for me, but you was a couple years away. Talk to me about like NIL and like what it could have done for us, obviously, And then what are you seeing it do for kids nowadays?
I mean, dude, we was stressing about the pill.
Bro.
Stressing about the pill, man. What y'all talking about? We was stressing about the pill.
Yes.
Trying to stretch it.
Bro,
So just imagine, that's why, like, even I told, like, some of the guys when I was coaching, I'm like, shoot, y'all get to live on campus and get some cheese. Like, even we living on campus, get nada.
Nothing.
So even if I want to put some food in the fridge, like, I still got to go spend some money.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, like, coming from a guy who worked jobs in college,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Go a long way, man. Like, just from that aspect alone, like, just having, like, the bare necessities to, like, be comfortable in life. Like, I don't got to go work. Right. I'm already working. Right. This is work. It's the only industry that don't consider it work.
Yep.
Or the level, I should say. But so now on top of that, now I got to go find a way to, like, feed myself. Got to find a way to, you know what I'm saying, do things I want to do. I'm still in college. I still want to have fun. You know, I'm still a kid. So,
bro, I tell people all the time, like, because, like, my wife would say the same. She would say the same thing about, like, kids. Oh, you got it easy. You on scholarship. I'm like, bro,
y'all are crazy.
We earning that scholarship. Like, I tell people all the time about how when you get into camp before the season and how you get that packet in the beginning of camp, bro. From
30 days straight.
Bro, 30 days straight.
Shout out to my boy YB. 30 days straight.
Right.
What are you talking about, man?
Bro.
Sunday to Sunday.
5 a.m.
Come on.
To 10 p.m. at night. Your day is mapped out and it's football from start to finish. Every single day. And I'm like, bruh, you guys get to go to class.
Go
and you
home.
Get to study.
Go take a nap.
And go home. Take
Chill,
a nap.
Leisure.
Hang out.
No. Come on, man.
No, everything you do, you got to do it with football in mind. I tell people that all the time. Like, so to me, it's about time that, like, boys done start to get paid.
Man, I'm
about
all
time.
for it. For it. I don't want no
I don't
boundaries.
I
don't want nothing. Because guess what, bro? They've been eating for way too long.
Yeah.
And now you finally letting these players get some cheese, man, and y'all want to reel it back in or y'all want to put some sanctions on it. That's why I'm not listening to all this stuff Nick Saban talking about in the.
Yeah, he tripped. He bitter, bro. He bitter.
You sick. Come on, bro.
He bitter.
You been killing.
Bitter, yeah.
You been killing.
Yeah.
You got how many dealerships? Oh, we're not gonna talk about that. Oh, you the only one that could get money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, these players like, man, yeah. This is a high profile job, bro.
Right.
And we need to start, on top of NIL, they need to start getting some healthcare benefits type of stuff.
100%.
Because that's the only thing is missing.
Our bodies are just ripped apart after you leave.
Bro, I was just talking to Reed the other day, one of my old linemen I play with, and like, man, life be miserable.
Right.
So you only imagine if you go play more, you're going to be miserable. I tell guys all the time, man, I couldn't live my life twice.
Right.
I couldn't do college football twice. That's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I couldn't do it twice.
Now that I've been removed from it, I can't believe I played, bro.
Bro, somebody asked me, do I miss it the other day? And I said, bro, somebody hit me right now. Hey, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem. Somebody come to the A gap and hit me, bro.
Yeah.
But it's just like, man, and it's so hard to explain because you got to remember too, man, you know, we are part of that 1%.
Yeah. So
when you are talking to the other 99%, they can't even fathom what you go through. I was talking to my boy that's still playing elite the other day. He said he was talking to one of his friends. He was like, man, I bet you couldn't get 3 yards. I bet you couldn't get 3 yards.
Yeah.
And I bet you won't get back up and try it again if you don't.
Right.
The average person not taking no hits. Come on, man.
No.
Think about all the average people, not even going to say average people, but think all the people in your life that would take a hit and they not getting back up.
Oh, no. Bro, I tell people all the time, like, bro, my fingers, playing corners all year, my fingers are permanently jammed, all of them. Every single finger, especially my right hand. I got a couple on this finger is okay, and my pinky is okay on this hand. My fingers are fat.
Bro,
like,
I'm the same way.
I got fat
you get used to it, bro.
Yeah, and I'm like, whenever I make fists, I can barely close my what's the name because they just jam permanently. Like I'm talking about knees, backs, everything.
Come on, man.
And when you talk about healthcare, I'll never forget this. Shout out to Jerry Greason. Shout out Jerry. Jerry, bro, I didn't break a bone when I was at UTSA, but I got regular injuries like anybody else. But like right after college, I'm hooping at what was it, Gold's Gym,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm on a fast break, and I'm finna like go up to finish or whatever. Boom, bone snap, broke my foot. I just got a job. Benefits ain't kicked in at the time, so I'm screwed. Like, bro, what am I gonna do? Jerry, he probably wasn't supposed to do this, but I think he retired now, so it don't matter. I called Jerry.
Hey, man.
I said,
Know.
Jerry, I'm like, man, I think I messed up my foot. He's like, come holler at me. I'll get you to the best people. And he came in there, helped me out. I think he got me like crutches and like just some stuff to get by. He hooked me up with a surgeon. Boom, got a surgery in the next day.
But bro, why that should be normal.
Exactly.
I shouldn't feel apprehensive about calling my trainer that I just spent the last 4 or 5 years with and be like, man, I just hurt myself.
And the thing about that, and to be fair, and like I had to pay for the surgery, of course, but just that care afterwards was huge because like normally you got to go to an emergency room.
You don't know where you're gonna go, bro. It's
exactly.
different. We've been so accustomed to something hurts, so we go right here. This is something we go right here. Now, like you said, we got to go to where? Emergency room. I got to wait.
Yep, 100%.
You spoiled.
And they should get what they should do, in my opinion. And this might sound like I'm asking for too much, but I don't think so. Especially like for football players, but it can be any athletes because of what we put our bodies through, bro. Like, can we get health care for like 2 or 3 years while we get out into the real world? You know what I'm saying? Like, or something to where we can be like, okay, like. Because a lot of times people are leaving the program hurt.
Bro, there's no there's no transition.
It's terrible.
Like resources for us.
It's terrible.
Now, I got a chance to go experience the league and they're doing better about their resources and transitioning out of the league. But like you said, man, you play that last game.
Yeah.
That's it.
If you get hurt that last game.
That's it. What you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I agree, man. Like there's no transitional resources like for the whole program.
Right.
There's some guys are gonna go find some things. Some guys are gonna go out there on their own and go get their network started. But even from just like a job resource, man, I don't understand like why is it so hard for guys that came up through this network who can't get jobs, good jobs.
Yeah.
With a degree.
I tell you this. I think it's. This is gonna sound a little bit like I'm going a conspiracy route, but it's really not, bro. Like. Football, like when you go into a college program like that, bro, you're a little brainwashed. Like, and what I mean by that is like, bro, we eat, sleep, football. Everything we do is on football or anybody in athletics in their sport. Like basketball players, same thing. And what you see a lot of the times is guys don't know how to let that go once that time is up. I was talking about this in the barbershop today. It was a dude in the barbershop. And he didn't make it to college for basketball or whatever today. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And my barber was like, bro, like, you need to get on your money, get on your hustle.
Turn the page.
Worry about, exactly. And I was just like, bro, I'm telling you from experience, don't, like, I didn't mess around with no pro day or nothing. I went straight into the job field. I was like, yeah.
I tell people I was already going on job interviews. Yeah. I didn't think I was going to the league.
Yeah.
I didn't even rush for 1,000 yards my senior year. I rushed for like nine something, but it was like my best year was my junior year. And so I thought like, shoot, and I was a little banged up. So I was like, man, it's looking slim. Yeah. I'm going on job interviews. Shout out to my boy Brad Parrott helping out with the external affairs.
Shout out to Brad.
I was going on interviews, man, trying to set things up and get my post life going because I wasn't thinking, I wasn't thinking league.
Talk to me about the league. How was it? How was your experience with the league? And then just everything after, like your football journey to the league, CFL. Like, talk to me about that process and how life was.
Man, it was something that I never like imagined before. Like, I didn't grow up wanting to play professional football. Basketball is and still is, was and still is my first love. Yeah. And I love playing basketball. I love watching basketball. I love the sport of basketball. And like just being able, but I was always good at football, bro. It was just like football just always came like natural to me for whatever reason. Yeah. And like it didn't matter what position I played. A lot of people don't know me. I used to play defense. I was a strong safety. So before
I see you play in high school.
Yeah, bro. I was
me and Glasgow went to one of your games.
I was a strong safety, and before like my senior year, I became a running back once we got a new coach and everything. That's kind of where that story took off at. But I played defense before this. You know what I'm saying? So, but I always grew up learning how to be an athlete. So I was always just able to go wherever I needed to do. And so, balled out UTSA and then getting a call from Cincy. I was actually at her second birthday party. My daughter's second birthday party. So, that was like a world of emotions going on, you know, all at once. Like, you're not happy, really not happy at the party. You like phone dry, you not nothing's going on. You hitting the agent, like, what's going on? And then, you know, when the dust settles, like, he calls you or they call you, you know, it's whatever. So I get up to Cincy, man, and I mean, it was cool, man. Like, I didn't go to like a big, you know, city or anything. Like, Cincy's a cool city, very big on sports. And so it was a good transition, man. So I played P squad that year. I made the P squad, and then I get active for my last 3 games, and so that was cool. And then going into the next year, everything was smooth, man. Hit OTAs, did camp. Man, my third preseason game, we in Buffalo, and going down on a punt, bro. I can't stand special teams, y'all. You got to be active on special teams, but I can't stand it, man. Man, I go down on punt, bro. One of my players gets, like, blocked into me, bro. I, like, partially tear my knee. And it's like, and mind you, bro, like, at this time, you know, a lot of people don't know, like, when you play that third preseason game, the fourth one is only 3 days after. So, you don't have no recovery time. So, I'm like, man, like, I already knew it. I already knew what time it was. And so, it was like, you know, once I got, like, they gave me, like, an injury settlement. So, they gave me an injury settlement, and then, like, they sent me on my way. So, I came back to San Antonio. Man, I was rehabbing, getting better. And then, bro, I get a call from the Rams. And so, I go work out for the Rams. And I guess it just didn't work out. And so, I went back home. And then it's crazy because later that year, they won the Super Bowl.
You'd had a ring.
Man, it's crazy. Crazy how life works, man. But it was a good time, man. Like, you're in that space that, you know, people don't get to experience often. But I will tell people also, man, it ain't what you think it is. A lot of players ain't getting them max contracts. A lot of players ain't getting extended contracts. Like, most players going to play their first contract and be done. Most players. So, like, unless you just really balling, man, or, you know, things work out in your favor, like, man, it's a short time. It's a short time, bro, for real. So you gotta maximize every chance you get. It's a short time.
I feel like the NFL, and this is just from an outside view looking in, but I'd like to get your opinion on this. Like, I didn't get close or anything like that, but you know people, like, once you start knowing a lot of people in the league, like, obviously at the same time we're graduating. Some of my friends and stuff and people I done played with are going to the league, and I'm talking to them and asking them about it. And a lot of people didn't have good experiences. At least your experience, like, it didn't work out ultimately, but, like, it seemed like you had a positive experience about.
I'm just grateful for my experience. Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I tell kids this all the time, man. Like, most people don't choose when they stop playing. Because kids ask me, "Coach, why you didn't keep playing?" It's not my choice. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, 99% of the people, that's the exact thing. Like, I didn't have another football team to join. After my 4 years is up at UTSA, that was it. I'm not gonna go play on no Sunday league.
Exactly.
Saturday
most kids experience that in high school. So you already, you know what I'm saying, live the 1% life. So now it's even more less of the 1%. So it's like these numbers are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So, like, I was super grateful for just getting the opportunity. Even, like I said, bro, I didn't feel like I'm such a hard critic on myself. I feel like I wasn't, like, I didn't deserve it almost.
Really?
I feel like I worked hard all my life, but like that last year, man, it was just my senior year left with like a sad taste in my mouth, and we didn't even win our bowl game. So I was like, it was like I didn't know. So it was like very, very, like, I tell you, man, I was really thinking I was going straight into the job force, corporate world. You know what I'm saying, getting it in that way. So I was really, really surprised when I got the opportunity, and then. You know, once that lady didn't work, man, my agent was still working for me, got me an opportunity in Canada. Man, I went up there, balled out 2019, and, you know, they didn't want to resign me. So it was just a 1-year deal, and I came back to San Antonio and started coaching. And so that was kind of my experience. But like I said, man, I was just grateful for the opportunity, man. You know, coming from where I come from, you know, my family lineage, like, this is not supposed to happen.
Right.
And so, I feel like, I made it happen.
Talk to me about the CFL and that situation. There's a lot of guys who take that route, but it's never really short-lived. One of my good friends, Ricky Collins, shout out to Slick, when he had a really good career there. I think he was like a finalist for Rookie of the Year or something like that. His first year, he was like a receiver. And he was like trying to get back to the league. I think he did a little bit of time with the Packers, and like he was just kind of going back and forth. But like what was surprising is he retired at like 28. And I was like, why? Like things seem to be going well.
Yeah.
Like,
but you gotta realize, bro, 28, you on that other side of the spectrum in the sports world.
right, that's true.
Think how long you been playing
That's
sports
true.
before that.
That's true.
I was talking to one of my colleagues, and I was telling him, man, for the last I'm 29, for the last 23 years, every fall I'm in football.
That's true.
Camp.
Yeah.
Last 23 years.
Yeah.
No matter what level, from Little League all the way up into coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Every fall I'm starting football.
Yeah.
So it's like at 28 you might be burnt out, bro. And you in Canada, it's like Canada's good football, man. It's really great, and if guys get the opportunity to go, I really suggest them to go. But like, you get burnt out. Up there you still playing 17, 18 games. Right. Season start in June. You don't finish playing till November, December. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot on the body, man. And some guys, some guys can keep going, some guys, don't. Depending on their drive, depending on, what they're trying to obtain financially maybe. But it's rough, man, when you start getting into that 28, 29, 30, like you old in sports years. Like you look at in regular society, oh man, you're young, you got the rest of your life ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? But in sports, I've been doing this for a minute. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you start playing at what, 24?
Yeah, 23,
24, and you was already beat up. So imagine playing another 4 years.
100%. I can't.
Exactly.
I can't,
bro.
dog.
So it's like, man, it's and I think now, bro, I think I would have benefited from like a USFL or something like that, like a feeder program, like from the league, because that wasn't in place at that time. It just got in place, and it just kind of found a common ground structure.
You think those things can ever like succeed? Because they always come up and then they go out of business in like a year every single time.
And I think it's because everybody was trying to be everywhere and do their own thing. Right. You got XFL over here, you got USFL over here, you got this over here. It's like spring league over here. Like everybody just combine. Yeah, just combine. Yeah. It's all the same players. Yeah. Anyway, they just going from this league that start in the spring to this league that start in the fall to this league that start like in the summer.
I feel like what they should do is they should, instead of them trying to be an alternative league, they should just lean into being a feeder league, because at that particular point in time, you ain't really, if you're just a feeder league for people who are still trying to make their way to the league or whatever the case may be. And it could be to the NFL or CFL. Why don't they? I feel like they should just lean into that. And at that particular point in time, you don't necessarily have to commit big money to the players, because it's like, yo, it's a feeder league. You're probably gonna do a year or two here, if so, and if not,
but that's just like the G League, man. Like guys go play in the G League and make a decent living. Yeah. Yeah. Why we can't do that at a lower level in the NFL and still get picked up from and that's, I guess that was the transition that they made was, okay, we're gonna get some ex players to start coaching. We're gonna get some ex NFL coaches to start coaching, and so getting more people acclimated within that network. Because when you're not in the NFL network, you're not in the network. Yeah, you out the loop. So if you in the loop, then they're gonna look out for you. Right, and so. I think, and there's been guys that's went down, came back up, went down, came back up, and I think that's a better system than, because once you're done, you're usually done, bro. Right. And if you go to Canada, you're usually really done. Yeah. So it's just, it's things are changing, and that's a good thing, but it's been messed up for a long time. Yeah. And like being a president of like the PA down here in Austin, San Antonio, it's like, man, you see so many generations that played and they didn't have anything, and now they're just starting to make changes, man. Yeah. We're in 2024. Guys played in the 70s, the 80s. You know what I'm saying? They had to deal with this for so long. So now you get to a point, it's like you don't even really check for it no more. That was 30 years ago. That's no longer a part of my life. So it's kind of weird, but it's getting better, man. It's getting better.
Talk to me about coaching, and what are your ultimate goals over coach? So you're coaching high school now.
Yeah, I'm coaching high school football.
Do you have do you want to coach college?
The year of college I did coach, man. It was cool, but like I'm not gonna lie to you, man. If I'm gonna be doing all that work, I need the bag.
Yeah, I see.
Or I need some type of check. I can't do it on no
Right.
GA salary or GA,
Yeah.
stipend or whatever
Yeah.
like that. A lot of those guys that
Were you going on recruiting and stuff too?
I
helping
would do
with
like some stuff in the city, well, not locally, but most of the guys that are usually on staff or kind of do
Yeah.
all the recruiting. But I mean, like, and granted, man, like more like power to those guys. Like a lot of those guys that get in the GA and they
Right.
do it like right after they finish school. So talking about a guy that's 3 years removed,
Right.
when it already got a job. You know what I'm saying? Came back, kind of established a life. So it's like I get the sacrifice, but it's like at the same time, like I still need to like live.
Right.
And I'm not willing to like make my life
It's
like
a lot of time, right?
bro. It's a lot of time. So you gotta be. Compensation is like one of the only ways to kind of make up for that.
Yeah.
So and you're gonna see great things, you're gonna do great things, and but like it's in my opinion, being someone who plays the sport, I guess I don't know, it's not worth it if you're not getting no bag.
Right.
And so that's why I had to leave, and shoot, you make more. Some high school coaches make more than college coaches,
Yeah,
bro. So it's
especially
like,
head coach. You see, Nasty Nate got him a head
Come
coach
on, man.
job. Both Nates.
yeah.
Nate Shaw and
Yep,
Nate
yep,
Leonard. Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
So it's like, if you stay down long enough,
Right.
man, and that's what you want to do, then it's pretty cool. But I just kind of coaching was just kind of fell into my lap, and I think I will. If I do, I want to go back into get into the league and get into that space. High school is cool. High school is like something that's gonna like always be there if you want to go and just get back engaged into the community and stuff like that. College is more high profile, and then the league is kind of about all who you know.
Yeah, I feel like I remember. I feel like GA is a tough. I remember Nethery asked me to be GA right after I graduated, and I was like, just give me a week to think on it. And I was like, nah, bro, I can't do it.
Can't do it, bro.
Because he was like, he sat me in the
already
office
know.
and he was like telling me what.
He
I was
already
like, all right, so what is? I was like, what is my day to day gonna look like? And he started explaining. I was
It's gonna look like that
bruh.
packet that we had.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, bro, for nothing.
Nothing.
Like, oh, you can stay and get your master's. I'm like, bro, that master's.
And that's what, like, man, I really do hate, like you said even earlier, like when your wife was like, man, y'all getting a degree, y'all should be thankful. I'm like, dog, no.
Yeah,
It ain't
bro.
enough.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's
not enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough. It's
And it's not like that degree comes with a career attached to it.
right. Oh,
You
it
still
does
gotta
not.
go. You
Does
still gotta
not.
go make that career.
Dude, I am right now. So like, I was a comm major and I minored in business and stuff like that.
Same thing. I'm a comm major, minor in business.
I am well into my career. I'm doing well, and I can tell you now, like, I got here by luck. I'm not using my degree at all. Like,
Bro,
I
I tell kids the same day, man. I got to where I was by just being in the right places at the right time.
literally that. Bro, I have a high level finance job. How the hell did that happen?
Hey, bro.
And it was literally, and that's what I tell people all the time about how, like, making sure you take advantage of your network. And like, not using people, but building relationships, not burning bridges, being somebody that's like easy to talk to, somebody that you can call up and be like, I got this. You do that stuff, and I promise you it's going to pay off at some point. That's exactly what happened in my career.
Yeah.
But I look at a lot of my other, like, people I graduated with, other football players that we know, and a lot of guys have went on to do good stuff because, number one, you get into college, you got to have a certain mindset to play 4 years throughout college and graduate. So, like, the fight in you is always going to be, like, is in a lot of people. But there's a lot of folks who they go into this transition. If it ain't football, I can't gear in the corporate world and do my thing.
That's not what I know.
Right.
Because now, like, and that's another thing I feel like is wrong with, like, college football. Like everybody knows that 99% of these guys aren't going to the league.
Right.
So, like, why do we have to wait till senior year to start
Thank you.
engaging in resources, start trying to build these networks, start going into these events? I ain't go to a networking event at UTSA till probably my junior, senior year.
Me too.
Why?
Same thing.
We should first summer.
Yep. 100%.
Freshman year, we should start building that network. That's what I'm saying, man. These degrees don't got no careers attached to them.
What's sad about that is my first job came from somebody at one of those networking events. Sarah, I sold life insurance when I first was named Sarah with New York Life. I met her at one of those UTSA things, and she was like, "You can come work for us." And I was just like, that was the only one I went to. Somebody was already trying to recruit. Why aren't there more of these, bro? Like, and to be honest, the one thing I did not like about that there was only like they only selected a handful of us to go to that.
I
think it was 24. Bro. It was 24 players, and I think 17 of us showed up. And then there was a couple of other players from like soccer team and basketball team.
They took us. It was a group of us, bro. It was like maybe like 10 of us, bro. We went to New Star Energy with Bill Greehey. It was like me, Jason Neal, BP, Demo, like the dogs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, if you know Marcus, like Marcus was still a young dude. So this is like. These are the guys you see taking their careers to other levels, which we all did.
Yeah.
Where are the other guys at?
Right, yeah.
Why aren't they coming to UTSA?
Yeah.
Did you do any internships at UTSA?
I did do one. I did one in the communication department with shout out to Kyle Stevens and Brian Hernandez. I did it with them.
Shout out to Kyle and Brian. Those are my dogs.
Yeah, they're my guys for sure.
Good people.
Yeah.
Now, was that because you wanted to do that yourself, or was it presented to you?
I went to them. It was like, yo, I want to do this in the summer.
Exactly.
Right.
How many guys doing that?
No, but not many.
Come on, man. So why are you not force feeding this to us?
Right.
You force feed us everything else.
Yep, that's facts.
We got to go do everything else. Force this next transition out, like down our throat, bro.
And it's almost like they contradict themselves because they'll say like, yeah, we're preparing y'all to be great men and preparing y'all for this, preparing y'all to do all this other stuff, just do football. And I'm like, bro, like if I would have known, like. How real life was gonna smack me across the head whenever I got out of football, bro, I may not have finished. Like I definitely would have took class serious. I would have took like learning about money and how to manage money a lot more serious. And I tell people like this all the time, like people who people who are non-athletes in college or they spend that time preparing for the real world, and we spend our time preparing
for Saturday.
For Saturday every single time, and I'm not saying that like people should feel sorry for football players and athletes, but like when you think about getting into the real world, we preparing for Saturdays, and then boom, now you got to go with the real world. Now I'm going up against interviews against people who've been preparing for 4 years, bro. And I'm not gonna beat them probably.
And that's why I asked you about the internship question because, bro, you either got the degree or you got the experience.
Right.
And more times than not, we end up getting a paper, but we don't got nothing to show for it. Nothing. You tell me over 4 years, 5 years, if I redshirted, I didn't establish anything in the field that I want to go into. Yep. Nothing. Yep. No internship. You talking about we got all these sponsors and connections at UTSA and people paying for this, and none of these guys can give us any summer jobs, spring jobs, any course training or anything. We don't have nothing. We don't have no certs coming out. We don't have nothing coming out except a paper. And I played at UTSA football.
Yeah, and that runs out pretty quick.
Man,
you got about a year.
Fast.
You got about a year to capitalize on that once you graduate, and then after that, it's you play where? So really?
Oh, you play football?
Cool.
that's fun.
Cool. Yeah. So
yeah, man. I've been in those rooms. I've been interviews. I don't have the experience. I tell people I don't have the experience. I'm looking. I can do it though.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta say because. I mean, I don't have anything else to show for it. Yeah. And, I mean, again, unless you're forward thinking, and which many of these young men aren't when they're coming out of these, situations, it's hard, man.
Yeah.
And then most guys don't stick around. So, and that's another problem that I have with the whole, like, university or the program as well. Like, bro, y'all come and get these guys here, and why aren't we keeping them around?
Right.
You tell me we don't have connection to get guys coaching jobs in the city? Tell me we don't have connection to get jobs. Yeah. Shoot, coaching jobs or jobs at UTSA. Yep. They could be on campus. They don't even got to be coaching. But I guess I can ask you, like, what do you think the percentage of players that we like keep around the program once they're done?
Not many.
If you could put a percentage on it, probably less than 5%.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Easy.
Yeah.
So now you just got guys coming in and leaving, going back to Cali, going back to here. So now it's like. you just starting over all over again. There's no influence on the program. There's nobody to look up to, you know.
To me, what's weird about it to me, like I look at you, right, and I say like you, Glasgow, Frank, Marcus don't need it because he's in the league. He's still making millies, but like I feel like for y'all are like football faces of San Antonio. Like when I think, and this could just be my limited exposure to some. Well, I've been there for 7 years. I see it. People know Glasgow from everywhere.
Wow.
People know you from everywhere. People know, obviously Frank is big time now. To me, it would behoove UTSA to at least have y'all as people, like not just, oh, we're gonna recognize Dub at the next game at halftime. Like in my opinion, they should have some sort of like ambassador type thing,
bro,
type deal for y'all at least.
But this the thing, bro. They only do it when your name is popping.
Right.
When I'm in the league, I'm getting care packages.
Yeah.
They calling me.
Really?
On God.
Yeah.
They calling me.
Yeah.
They hitting me up.
Yeah.
That career over, bro. You can't do nothing for that university no more. They're going to still shout out Marcus. They're going to still shout out the guys that's still playing because they can still bring an attraction to the university. Right. You a former player now. They don't see you in the same light. I ain't got a new UTSA T-shirt in 5 years. Yeah. Why is that? Yeah. I ain't saying you got to send it to everybody, bro, but like you said, the guys that have made a key impact on the program, some ambassadors, leaders, like, especially if they still in the city.
That's the thing. For me, it's like, okay, there'll be recruits, big time top recruits. Like UTSA is we on the map now. Like what they've done over these last 3 years, we ain't competing with like some of the SEC schools, anything like that. But to me, in terms of getting people league opportunities and things like that, I feel like we've started to do that pretty consistently. I feel like the top talent out of San Antonio, unless it's some like super 5-star dude who got every offer in the country and he goes to Bama, so you can't blame him for that. But like San Antonio, UTSA should be locking down the recruits in San Antonio. And I feel like all these kids like have seen, you know, some of these kids that's coming up that seen you play. They were going to your games as little kids as they was coming up. Oh, I remember number two. Like, for them not to parade y'all around in the city as ambassadors to help with recruiting, to like help bring more people to games. They talk about, oh, the Alamo Dome will get packed. Like, bro, we got why are they not having you in Glasgow, giving y'all a little bit of change to go talk to some people in the community on behalf of UTSA to do some of these things to get people out? That to me. And I don't know if that's even a thing that other schools are doing, but like,
man,
to me,
I
it's
know
a missed opportunity.
That go back to their school, man. They get on that field, one call, I'm on the field.
Right.
One call, I'm back in here. And granted, bro, I can pull up a UTSA whenever I want to, and it's love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like you said, they're not using their relationships and their history to their advantage.
Right. Like
you said, bro, I went to the league, and Sincere's in the league now. Like, I ain't talked to one running back recruit.
Really?
Probably since Sincere.
Really?
Not one.
That's crazy.
Not one.
That's crazy.
No one calls me. And I'm not saying that I'm begging for y'all to call me, but like, we got guys that did it from these rooms.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and that's why, like, you know, that's why
and the fact that y'all want to help too. You know what I'm saying?
And the fact that we want to be engaged and help.
Right.
And so, like, you know, it's all about the program.
Right.
Like, I chose to come here just like the next kid did. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I always want the best for UTSA, just like the next player that played there do. You know what I'm saying? So, but, man, I still think sometimes we're still trapped in that, like, small mind mentality. Like,
I do too.
We are a real football program. If you guys don't know, that's why you get coaching rumors. That's why you get the nonsense, because we've built up that reputation. And we're there now. So you have to start doing things accordingly, like other programs that's been here for a while. Right. And so, like, when you don't highlight these players, or when you don't, you know, bring them back, when you don't keep them around, keep them engaged, like, it's redundant, man. It just doesn't make sense. Right. And, you know, like, I do it on my own, bro. Like, every signing, hey, man, where the new runners at? I'm trying to follow y'all. Yeah. I'm trying to stay tapped into the organization. Like, I'm trying to see who I can give the next camp to. You know, who can host the next camp through 210 development. Right. So, like, I want to be engaged in the program, but, like, I gotta, like, reach out every time. Or I gotta, you know, go pull up every time. I don't
Yeah.
stay next to the campus, bro.
Right.
I don't have time to drive 40 minutes every time.
Yeah.
Like, y'all gotta make it make sense.
Right. Yeah, I do feel like there's missed opportunity there on that front. Want to transition while we got time be flying by.
You talking,
Time
bro.
be flying by. I do want to ask you about next year and what your expectations are. Like, everybody is kind of panicking about, like, all right, this is going to be our first year in a long time without Frank.
For sure. That's a real factor.
To me, I feel like I have not seen enough from either of the two guys we got. Because everybody's like, okay, well, McCown's going to be the guy. I'm like, McCown's all right. Like, listen, both of the guys are talented. Marburger and McCown, there's some talented guys. But, like, I don't know, from the little small cameos we've seen of them this last season, I don't know if they're the guy yet. Like, obviously, like, going into a season with them being like,
I know what you mean, bro.
in an actual starting quarterback type role, that would be different. That'll make them better, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, I don't know if I've seen the guy. And Traylor was talking also about, like, he's trying to bring in a vet. He's trying to bring in somebody, and he told the quarterbacks that he's recruiting, like, yo, look at the tape. If you think you better, come holler at me. But we also got the money thing where, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, a lot of the guys are like, how much money we going to make and all that. So, anyway, with all that stuff surrounding UTSA coming into this next season, what are sort of your expectations? What are you going to be watching for in 2024?
Definitely gonna be watching the quarterback position, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, it's no elephant in the room.
Right.
Like, it's a hard campaign to follow up.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, even I tell guys, man, like, bro, Frank go anywhere else, man, he would have made at least $500,000.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
So, like you said, man, we're not even in the market to compete to pay
Right.
a great quarterback.
Yeah.
They say it's going for what, like $1 million, $2 million right now?
Like
a good
for
quarterback?
like a good quarterback, probably at least $1 million. Like a
So
good,
it's like
good
an average quarterback by what, $500,000, maybe,
I don't,
and get
maybe,
a little lower.
Maybe.
So it's
Just
like
depend.
it
Yeah.
just depends, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, man. We're
It's crazy.
Football is not a complicated game.
Right.
It's about the players.
Yeah.
You right? So we gotta get, you know, good player. And granted, man, you're gonna have those guys that slip through the cracks. You know, Frank was a guy too. At one point, people didn't know, you know, if he was gonna pan out, if he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. So, I mean, it's all these factors that go into it, man. But like at the end of the day, I feel like if you have like a certain type of quarterback that you were successful with, like you have to recruit that type of quarterback.
Right.
And I don't know if we have anybody on the roster that is like Frank.
Nah.
So I mean, it's from that aspect alone, man. It's gonna look different because, like, what made Frank special is like, yeah, he got better at throwing the ball, but like he can make something out of nothing and he can make plays.
100%.
But Frank has always been that way.
Yeah.
I know Frank when he was a little kid and played with my brother on the Converse Buccaneers and watched him grow all the way. Like he's always been that player.
Right.
So like that ain't something you just turned on or learned how to do when he got to UTSA. He's
It's
been
natural.
doing that. It's
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah.
And so, granted, man, everybody's not the player that you want them to be. And so you just have to, man, you know as well as I know, man, recruiting is hit or miss, man. So,
100%.
you know, you kind of got to roll with the punches. And, you know, I think one thing we do have, you know, we have a solid run game. So we can always lean on that. And we don't have to get pass happy because we don't have the receivers nor the quarterbacks we used to have. And so I think there'll be a lot more running this year. How
do you feel about the running backs? So I have a theory on Kavorian Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he played that well last year.
He's a little banged up, was he?
He was a little banged up, but I have another theory.
Yeah.
So you look at him his freshman year, he was like out of control. I was like, oh, this dude is he finna be one of them ones. And I'm not saying he's not, but the breakaway speed his freshman year was crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like he put on too much weight. Like, and obviously, like, you want to bulk up a little because he's trying to.
For sure.
Because they expected probably to give him the ball 20 sometimes a game.
For sure.
And I feel like he put on weight. It's obvious that you can see it, but he lost a little bit of his breakaway speed and a little bit of his wiggle.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that theory?
I think, you know, like freshman year, you come in, you fresh.
Yeah.
You fresh.
Yeah.
because this is how I feel about myself.
Yeah.
You're fresh freshman year.
Yeah.
And you're not the guy. So you come in. When you do come in, you get you get flashes and like people, get excited. Same thing. You seen Koch, Glasgow,
That's true.
BA.
Yeah.
And I can come in the game. I look a little faster. I look a little fresher. I look a little, you know what I'm saying? I might take that screen 60.
Right.
Now you come back, you got to be the number one guy.
Yeah.
You gotta put on some weight to withstand the carries you're gonna take during the season. And I think I got slower in my career.
Yeah.
Like I think from the time I started as a freshman to when I left, I think I got slower too. Like, but it's like not everybody's able to keep that good balance. Some people can put on some weight and keep the speed. Some people can't do it. Some people have to stay at 190 to run the 4.4.
Right.
Some people can't get to 205 and still run the 4.4.
Yeah.
So, I think he's a mature runner, man. I think he's a good player. I think that, man, you trying to find if you're trying to look for Sincere McCormick or Jarveon Williams in Kavorian Barnes, you're not gonna find that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's everybody's different. So you just gotta appreciate him for what he does well.
Yeah.
And I think them all together, collectively, I think that they have a good flow of things, and I think that they'll be really good.
Who do you think should be the starting guy out of him, Rocco, and Robert Henry? Who should get the boatload of the carries? Because to me,
and that's the thing, bro. I don't even look at starting
they all should play.
because I've seen guys
right.
start and you get taken out
Right.
after the first series
That's
just
true.
to check a box. You know what I'm saying? So, I think they all should get I think Henry should be getting probably about 12 carries, 12 touches. I think KB should be getting about 10 touches, and I think Rocco should be getting about 8 touches.
Okay.
In that type of order. And like I said, it ain't all carries.
Right.
It can be
because Henry in space is a problem.
exactly. So we can do screen game. We can do motion out, get ISO up with a linebacker, that type of stuff. And so he's a little bit more versatile. But I think that's kind of how the order should be. The guy that has the most opportunities to break a play, I think should get the most opportunities to carry the ball.
I like that. I never thought about it that way. I feel like Henry should get the most touches as well though, because dude, he is he can hit that thing and go 60 quick
For sure.
But
again, bro, a lot of this analysis is based off my own experience. You know what I'm saying? As a freshman,
I feel like it happens a lot though.
Yeah,
right?
you couldn't tell me bro, I should be getting the ball more than Glasgow and Koch. As a freshman, 'cause, man, when I get in, so that's how KB was feeling. So it's when you start getting a little older, man, you just get more experience. You're gonna see the floor. It's a long season. One, it's a long season.
Yeah.
Two, y'all in another level of a conference that y'all
That's
weren't
true.
in Conference USA. Is different athletes than in the American. So. I think all that plays a part. And so, man, and, I just think that the running back game, man, is more like running back by committee nowadays. Very seldom got guys just taking 25, 30 carries. I mean, if you do, it's people really looking down on it.
They killing the running back position. Just
they killing it, man. They killing it. But it's so crazy to me, bro. You talk to people, y'all talk ball, they're going to tell you need to run the ball.
You have to.
I just don't make sense to me why outside linebackers make more money than the guys that score touchdowns.
Yeah. But here's what I'll say. I think it's rare, it's rarer to get some of those freaks that can play off, to play a linebacker or to play some of these other positions. And there's a lot of good backs. That to me is the problem. There's a surplus of really talented running backs. And what people are basically saying, at least in the league anyway, is all right, why would we pay this dude $15 million a year where this other dude might not be as good, but he can still break some and go 60. It might not look the same, but we can pay him, half the money. We can pay him $4 million a year, and we can get similar production.
But you'll pay your backup quarterback $7-8 million a year.
Backup quarterbacks are important though, bro.
I mean,
which
ones?
That's yeah.
It's all case by case, right? So I'm gonna say
true.
you know what I'm saying,
that's true.
I mean, he's important, but he's not at the same time. He impacts 0 games.
Yeah, that's
now
facts.
he can get you through a season, I guess, if your starter gets hurt. But you're not even gonna have the same expectations to win those games when your starter gets hurt. So why even pay him? You just wanted to get through the season.
But
you can pay anybody to get through a season.
But the Nick Foles case always makes sense when Carson Wentz went down.
But that's an experienced vet.
That's true.
That's an experienced vet who already kind of had a career.
Right.
He was kind of on his second win, third win. So. Like, that's a special case. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't always happen that way. Most quarterbacks that come in after the starter can't get the job done.
Right.
So that's why they're the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Most cases not. And then you have a third string guy who probably makes more than, depending on your running back, what level he's at. He probably makes more than running back too. Or probably the same.
Yeah.
He's probably making about 2, 3, maybe, depending on who he is.
I wanna end with this. I know this is a weird way to end, but It's
one we just got started, man.
Yeah, I know, me too. I should have booked this for longer, but I want to end on your thoughts on or I guess I want to hear your experience on what the locker room is like. I tell people like this. Jalen and I was talking about this when he was on, and I was like, people like fans and stuff who watch the game, they like, oh my God, like, these guys like love each other and I'm not saying people you don't love your teammates, but like the whole caring about I want to win this, I want to sacrifice this, I want to sacrifice that. And I was telling people, I was like, bro, I remember back in our corner room, it was toxic because old dude, I was like, such and such want me to screw up so he can play. This dude want me to screw up because he can play. Somebody want me to get hurt because I'm a starter, and if I get hurt, he get his time to shine. I think about that on the NFL level because money is involved. What is that like? What is the locker room? What is the war room like in a running back locker room? Or what is that like? What's the whole thing?
Like in the NFL, it's like, man, like it's like any other job, bro. You gonna bond with some coworkers. Some of you just gonna work with. Some of you would never talk to if y'all was never in this building. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how it is. And like you meet, you know what I'm saying? You gain relationships, you know, depending on the amount of locker rooms you in and places you go and stuff like that. So you build relationships, man. But like at the end of the day, man, it's like everybody living the same life.
Right.
So it's like you kind of share that experience, but it's like outside of the locker room, like you have a couple guys that might hang out with each other outside, but like it's work. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how many of your coworkers you hang out with, but like I don't really hang out with a lot of my coworkers outside of work. It's love when we at work. Yeah. It's love everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the nature of what it is. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the league, guys got families now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot different life than just in college where we all kind of
forced together.
We're all living in the same dorms. We're all living in the same apartments. We're all can only afford to live in these areas. Yeah. You know, this guy, he making $20 million. He not gonna live where this guy's making $1 million or this guy's making $500,000. Right. But they cool at work, like you know, it's love, but that real life factor kind of plays into a part. You know, this guy got 2, 3 kids. Like I'm not finna go pull up to your crib or go out this night. We hang. You know what I'm saying? So it's y'all are grown men now. You know, you're not college kids. You know, just having fun or you know this and that. And you know, as far as like college goes, man, I think your room goes as far as like the leader establishes the culture. Right. I think every room does have a leader. And you know, like. Man, I've always been an easygoing guy. You know, I ain't never really just had a lot of smoke with anybody. And I think that's kind of how our running back room was, man. Like, I was very encouraging. I was always happier for, like, other guys to, like, eat more, like, than I did or, like, on top of what I was doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like, seeing Jalen, like, you know what I'm saying, coming to his own, like, that was, like, so fulfilling, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you can go to another place and start. Like, you didn't have to, like, be here. You know what I'm saying? This is a guy who's a Power 5 commit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, realizing like certain things like that, like especially like when you're the guy in the first guy, you know, like just as well as I know, you can go to practice today and snap something or break something or this and that, and like you might never like get back to where you were as a person. And so like, you know what I'm saying, like all that plays a factor. So you just kind of like, I always set the tone like, man, I encourage everybody like who was ever getting other reps, you know, if guys were struggling on things, like I always feel like, you know, I could help. Because at the end of the day, man, we all trying to get better, and we all here for the same purpose. And at the end of the day, man, we all playing for the name on our back. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I get the name on the front, but we really playing for that name on the back. And that's what you're going to walk out of here with when you're done, is that name on the back, whether it's in another jersey, whether it's on a degree, whether it's in a corporate office. And so, like, And like I just always wanted to be cool with guys, bro. I never had like, bro, we all trying to win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've been there when it was like real toxic, man. When y'all were there, bro, it was toxic. It was O versus D. It was this guy versus that guy. It was real smoke. Camp was not a game. Didn't care if a guy get hurt. This guy, let me tell you about this guy. He knows what I'm going to tell you guys.
I already know.
He knows. This guy is a malicious,
oh my
dirty player.
He lied. He lied, dog.
You want to go to? Let's do the play. You tell him about the play. Tell him what you saw, and I'll tell him what I saw.
Talking about the sideline.
He knows what I'm talking about. Why is he acting? He knows. He knows. He knows. What's that called? He knows.
Who's the running back?
It might have been BA. It was BA.
It wasn't BA.
It was BA, bro.
Was it B Vaughn?
It was. I think it was BA, bro.
I wouldn't have done that.
I
know I wouldn't. I wouldn't have done that to BA.
He picks and chooses.
I wouldn't have done that to BA. BA is my.
He picks and chooses.
Me and BA lived together for a couple
sure.
years. So
it might have been B Vaughn.
It might have been B Vaughn. So here's the way here's my recollection of the play. It was a breakout. The running back broke left side up the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running.
Your left or right. Yep.
I'm coming the other side.
Yep.
And I couldn't tell if he was pulling up or not at the end of the run. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna approach it as I'm not finna get like trucked, bro. Like I'm not finna get in trouble. And he probably pulled up at the last second, and I laid into him pretty good, and it started a riot. It started a riot. I've never seen Nate Shaw so mad at me, bro.
Yo, that was one of the highlights of my UTSA career. Dude, we were in camp, and we're running plays. And the only reason I say BA because I feel like B Vaughn wouldn't have been on the field with you. You was getting reps with the ones or twos or something like that, or probably the ones, honestly.
Yeah.
And so, man, we were practicing, and to his advantage, I would say, when we got our new practice fields, didn't they outline it in like blue?
Yeah.
All our lines were blue.
That's true. Yeah.
So you really couldn't tell where the down markers were, where the out of bounds markers were.
I can be honest, I didn't care about that.
Right, but that's what I said. I'm trying to save him some grace. But this guy, 5 yards out of bounds, waylays the running back into the mat. Because we used to have the mats against the gates. We used to have mats against the gates because the gates were so close to the out of bounds line. So if you got hit, you just get hit on the mat. And dude, I mean, you talk about a riot.
It started a riot,
and it festered into the locker room. And I forgot who ended up fighting. I think it was.
Oh, was that Brandon Freeman and Crosby?
B. Free and Crosby, receiver and corner. And I mean, like that was just one of those moments, man. It was like
I'll never forget that.
I'm in college football, man, and this is real deal. And but what I will say, man, that's what I loved about that team, man. We was some fighters.
Oh yeah.
That was the year we went 7-5.
Yeah.
First year in the Conference USA. I mean, we were some dogs, man, and like
that was
we didn't.
2013.
Yeah, that was my first year. It was my freshman year. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I mean, like people ask me all the time, man, how'd y'all win those games? I was like, man, we just had tough dudes, man. Yeah. We had a lot of tough dudes who been through a lot of stuff, who were like ready to prove a lot of people wrong.
Because our classes, those classes before you got there, we was all overachievers, undersized, but overachieved on the high school level. So we all came in with a chip on our shoulder, like we probably ain't supposed to be here, but we here. What's up? You know what I'm saying?
Real talk. And that's like the one thing I say that left that year, like that team, like, and you know every year a team is different, but that team, man, dog, we were some dogs, man. We scrapped, we worked, we didn't complain about a whole lot, man. We didn't have a whole lot, so it was like we ain't got nothing else to complain about.
Right.
So like let's go win games. Like that's we came out, we beat Tulane, we beat Southern Miss, we beat Tulsa, we beat like we was like kicking ass and taking names, man, and and we didn't even get to go to a ball game, man. That was the most crushing part about it, man. For those seniors, man, I wish that those guys had to experience that, man, because man, we really deserved it, man, and man, I'll never forget that. Man.
Crazy times
for real.
Unfortunately, we got to wrap it up. Appreciate you guys for watching this. Make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to my guy Dub for coming down and doing the podcast. If you want to join as a member, that'll be a link in the description for that as well. Leave super chats, leave all of that. But wrapping it up. Appreciate you for doing this, bro.
Yes, sir.